Hello, hello. How's it going? It's been a little while. In case you guys have forgotten who I am, because it's been so long, this is 01 of 1. We are over here playing a little bit of Space Engineers again. Only this time we're not using the nanobot build and repair things, so everything is being built kind of by my own two hands. Yeah. Anyways. This is the building that I have started working on, so let me show you how it all started first. So let me hop out of here, and we'll go over here, and we'll go down here, okay. So, this is where I started. A little bitty dropship here. Surprisingly, it still has power. It's been a little while. Let me see, I'm just recharging myself. Also, I should probably recharge my hydrogen. Oh no, it's already at 100%. Never mind then. Okay. Yeah, so I dropped down here, and I literally landed right there. And then I started digging a hole. And then that hole became this thing down here, which is, you know, a little bit dug out. And then from there, I started building some stuff. And so I've got like a little mine down here for stone, anyways. I have a little ship here that I made later on. Just a little skimmer on skis, you know, because it's a, you know, ice world. And yeah, we are just building a bunch of stuff. I don't have too many mods on here. Modulus is very low, so I do have the gravel sifter, just because otherwise gravel just has no purpose. So use the gravel sifter. Costs a lot of power, so, you know, it sort of balances. I do have my lovely refinery here, and I believe I've got all yield modules on here, so I was able to find gold. I have my assembler over here. I think I've got power and speed modules on there, I believe. But yeah, so this is the frame of this little building here. Eventually it's going to get all built out. And I have this little set of pipes going down here over into the mine down there, so I can just mine the stone down there and just throw it into the system automatically. And then the idea for all of this is I looked up what some of the Antarctica, you know, buildings look like, and I kind of wanted to, you know, steal those a little bit. And yeah, so it's just a little building over here. I put some decorative pipe stuff underneath here, just because it's fancy. I don't know. Do I need it? Probably not, but everything is piped in together. I do have some hydrogen tanks over here. These probably aren't going to get a building around them. They're just going to be like a little platform. That's going to be enclosed in the glass. You can see that I started that. This side all has to be enclosed in glass, which is going to be fun, maybe. Oh, hey, I have like a whole other block over here that I could use. Dude. I didn't realize I had that much block space. And yeah, so let's just take a little tour. Right, so we go in here and immediately over here. So this is like our airlock. So I've got doors right here, right? So that will pressurize this whole area, or depressurize it. Actually, this should be depressurizing, not pressurizing. Sir, depressurize on. There we go. Right? Right. Okay. So, there we go. So, we also have our batteries in here. And then that's just a piece of glass up there, so it's just kind of separating everything out. We've got a little walkway over there. We have like an open air bridge here, and then we have like an enclosed tunnel going that way. And then I'll put like another level up there for something. I'm not sure what yet. Let's see. We have some oxygen tanks over here, just pulling from the atmosphere. The atmosphere here is breathable. It's just frozen, so, you know, don't want to be out here for too long. Balin says, Zero, where you been? Just, you know, busy. News, though. The next 3 books of my Space Engineers, the Space Engineer book series are done and published. So in case you're curious about that, they are there. Oh, right, this is why I have the extra space here, because this isn't actually connected to what I thought it was. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so yeah, we're just I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure something to put in here Maybe storage. Storage might be good. Maybe. But yeah, so we got cryotubes. These are now all hooked up because I did the pipe work over here, which is what I'm working on right now. So pipes go down into there, come up here, across there, go down, and then that is, so this is one set of cryotubes over here. The other set is right here. These are just the pipes that you see in the ceiling. Way down is here. And I'm going to enclose all of this so you don't actually see the batteries, and then we'll have like a little walkway here so you can see down into the battery room. Let's see, this is enclosed because it is exposed to the outside, so I just need to make sure that that is, you know, not leaking. Let's see, then we have our vent up here, which will pressurize the whole area. We got kind of like a little overlook type thing here. I did build like a whole lab thing over here. I mean, I'm just kind of playing around with these. I don't actually know about all this stuff yet, but I mean, it's kind of cool, right? I don't know. Got some little vats, I guess, for stuff. Oh, that's cool. There's like a little thing there. I haven't seen a lot of these blocks before, so this is like new to me. So I'm just kind of playing around and seeing what I can see, I guess. And then there's going to be like a control section over here where I'll put, I don't know, something. Med bay here for recharging and stuff. And then we have kind of like the crew sleeping quarters type thing over here. And then we have, you know, bathroom, shower. We have another little lab bench looking thing over here because it makes sense. Then we have a sink next to the toilet because, you know, hygiene. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I was just like playing, and it's like, you know what? There's not a lot going on today. Maybe people would like to watch me play. Maybe they're bored. Maybe they just need something to watch. So I don't know how long I'm going to do it today. Probably like just an hour or so because I still have to cook dinner for myself. But yeah, so now I need to get this part connected to that part over there. And let's see, we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straights and a curve. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straights and a curve. There we go. Perfect. I still don't have a lot of the Izzy's scripts set up yet. So as you can see, I don't have components ready for me. So I actually have to make all the stuff, but that's fine. I can deal with that. Let's see, Balin says, you got KSP yet? It was for sale for $4, $12 with a 2 expansion. That's the something space program. I do have it. I don't think I've played it yet though. So it's in my docket, I guess, for games. Yeah, so I don't know. I just work, busy, you know, writing books, publishing books, busy stuff. So couldn't really post too much on YouTube, but that's just me making excuses. The real reason is because I'm lazy and making videos is hard. Well, it's not really that it's hard. It's just it's time consuming, you know. So I just don't have the time for it. All right, so that can go there, and then I need a curved pipe. There we go. That can go there. Good. And I should have some, if not all, of the parts for this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go grab the rest of the stuff. There we go. Then I can just finish building them, and it'll all be good. And then that will tie my medbay into the system, so I should be able to replenish my hydrogen and whatnot as well. All right, so that is there. We have our vent, and then this, of course, goes down into the medbay right here. There we go. And then also I put in a little cargo hatch thing. Terminal half. There you go. Kerbal. There you go. Balin says it's Kerbal Space Program. So yes, I do have it. I just have not played it. Let's see. What else do I want to do? How am I looking on just stuff? Let's see. I have 6,000 nickel, 4,000 silicon. Okay, plenty of cobalt. Even more silicon. More silicon. 35,000 iron. That's a lot of iron. Oh, and I have another 2 here. Oh, that's fancy. And then the uranium, platinum, and stuff, that's just from the magnesium too. That's just from me processing the gravel. So that's not going to give me any meaningful amount unless I process like a ton of gravel. So it's just, it is what it is for now, I guess. Let's see, what else am I going to need? I want to try to understand how the event blocks work. I'm not exactly sure how they work. I don't know. I've been watching, wow, mind blank. Splitsy, there you go. I've been watching some of his stuff. And then there was this other guy. He's like in real life, he's like a processes technician or something like that. And so he built up this whole, and he did it all in, you know, Space Engineers, but it's like it monitors like the fill of iron and stuff in specific cargo things. And he made like a whole display thing where he's like programming lights to like fill up bars and stuff. And I'm like, that's really cool. I wish I could do that. I should probably try to learn. But yeah. So that's kind of one of the goals of this, is just kind of to check out the new blocks, figure out how they work, how to make, you know, things work with them, and then also to learn how to do all of the other things. Okay, so what do we need? That's all connected. Oh, right. I need to do all of the glass up here too. Because of course we're going to do glass. We always do glass. For a roof anyways. It's called Skylight, Natural Lights. But unfortunately that's going to take up a lot of silicon, but I think I have enough. So let me see how much glass I have. I have 5. I have 5. Okay, we're going to need like a lot more. So like we'll make 1,000. Let's see. Yeah. Well, actually, hold on. I'm trying to think of like the structure that I want, because I want to use the rounded glass on the ceiling, but then I'm going to have an issue at the corners because the rounded glass, you know, has a big hole there if you put it on top of a block. So I have to figure out how to cover up the hole. I don't think we have an inverted curve yet. I mean, that would be nice if we had one, but I don't think we do. Yeah, so we still just have the side whatever curve thing and then the corner curve. We don't have the inverted one yet. That's fine. Okay. Let's grab some girders, I guess. We'll put some of that there. Let me grab some plate. Probably gonna need more plate. Yeah, I'm gonna need to make more plate. Okay, so on top of that, I'll make another 1,000 plate. And then I do have the thing on here where your hydrogen pack thruster thing sucks on planets. I mean, it works, but you know, it's not great. So that just, you know, kind of increases the difficulty and stuff. So I'm gonna put these in the corner, and hopefully these will seal against those curved glass pieces. And then, ooh, how am I gonna handle this part? So I can't put anything there. It's gonna be awkward unless I push it back one, which I could do, or I could push it. Well, no, because that's not gonna work either. Dang it. Yeah, that's just not in a great spot right there. Do I need to move this forward? Then put like another one of these blocks here for the corner? Probably. Well, before I do that, I do know that I can put this one here. So let's do that. And I'm out of plate. Okay. Well. Now, I just disconnected everything, so that's not great. Let's see. We need this to go there. And then I need this thing. We're going to put that there. But I need steel plate. So let us go and grab some more steel plate. There we go. How much do I want? Like 20? And people have started lighting fireworks already. Luckily, though, I have a very good pair of headphones now. So once they start getting into it, I will be putting those on and making sure that they are on very tight. And I need more steel plate. Grr. Yeah, so that's now connected. Good. Which means I should be able to just go here. There we go. Perfect. And then we'll get that finished up. Okay. So now that that's done, we'll hop up here again. And we'll finish. We can't finish that because I don't have more steel plate. Okay. There we go. Grabbing stuff. Good. And now, flying up here again. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now we need to pick up the windows. And we're going to need these ones. I'm thinking if I want to use any other type of window. I don't think so. Yeah, we'll just stick with these. Okay, so I need a corner. So that's why I needed the 45 there, because then it seals. And then we'll put in another one over here. And then another one over here. And the final one over here. So that'll seal up against the corners, and then I can go to this one. LJS says, anyone mind updating me on the goals of this stream? We don't really have a goal in mind. We're just kind of building. Right now I'm just working on a habitat, I guess. So that's kind of the goal. And that's 3 wide, which is good. Hopefully this is an even number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is an even number. This makes me happy. All right. And then take this thing, throw this over there. Oh, hey, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be there, sorry. Okay, now, window. 3 by 2, or 2 by 3, whichever way you prefer. Let's see, I want you... Yeah, something like that. There we go. Okay, so now if I can just build all of that, and then I'm still gonna have to put in windows on that whole sidewall right there, but once I have that in there, this whole thing should pressurize. So, now I just have to get all of the parts and pieces. And I'm already out, okay. I need girders and window. LGS says, thanks, looks nice, love the curved windows for a roof, as do I. All right, so we're going to need all of the room that we can get. So I'm going to grab a ton of girders, which I don't currently have. So let's make some. We'll do like 1,000. Probably going to need all 1,000. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. You know, I was kind of thinking it would be funny if I started this using an accent voice, like for a gag. I'd be like, hey, I'm finally back after so many years of not streaming. And today I'm going to attempt to build some sort of a structure in this newfangled Space Engineer game. You know, just kind of make it sound like I'm an old guy. I just think that would be funny. And if I can do the accent, then I might as well, right? Except now I have to go out here on the side. Okay. There we go. And is that all built up? Okay, good. Energy low. So, had I actually done the old guy voice? Balin says, really? That makes me feel even older. There we go. Okay, so all of the girders are placed. But yeah, so what would you guys have said if I just like did that accent and just stuck with it? I think it would have been funny, but I don't know. Okay, so next thing, we're going to need all of the windows. I can only carry 120 at a time. Okay, that's fine. We'll go here.
Oh, it appears as I am low on energy, so I should probably do something about that.
Let's see, I gotta go down here. Balin said, I would have asked what have you been smoking. Nice. No, I like playing around with accents just because I think they're fun. And so whenever I get a chance to try out a new one, I usually keep at it until, you know, I have it somewhat down. And then, let's see, we need more window. Okay. LGS says, might be worth putting a conveyor across, or conveyor access near the roof, shorten your trip. You're right, but then I'd have to, like, figure out how to do that. I mean, I could put it over here, I suppose. I have room for it. It's a good idea. I like following good ideas. But I'm wondering, because like I'd have to get rid of it once I'm done. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's see, cargo access. I need one of these things, probably. That's a lab small hydrogen tank. Interesting. Like a lot of these things I haven't used yet, so I'm not really sure what they're good for yet. Like I want to try like all these small grid stuff and like just see if I can put something together. I also, the modular cargo containers are kind of amazing. And if you look carefully, in the middle of that is a modular cargo container. So I use that so I've got like an iron mine entrance over there for nickel and stuff. I've got cobalt over there. It took me a long time to find the cobalt, actually. It kind of stunted my progress for a while. Then I've got like all these other ones. I mean, you can see all the stuff that I've like scouted out so far just looking for cobalt. So I've got a lot. Let's see. So putting in a cargo access portal here somewhere. What is this? I thought there was like a flatter piece that you could put on like one of these cargo window, like one of these things, and it would like flip open and give you access. Or am I thinking? No, I'm probably thinking that's wrong. Right. So cargo access. We're gonna grab one of these. I don't think I can build it because I don't have the parts, but we'll put it there because we do like following good ideas. So give me all of the pieces and parts. Thank you. LJS says access panel. It can go over a cargo container. Okay, but not like a normal access port. I mean, this is like a non-accessible access port, I guess. I don't know. And apparently I didn't grab all of the parts out of there. That's not great, sir. LGS says, no, it's not. All right, well, confirmation. Okay, there we go. Now I can grab all of the windows that I want and put them all in here. Good. Each of these things takes like 45 glass. That's insane. All right. Well, more glass, please. More. Sorry, this is probably like super exciting for you guys. Just watch me build stuff. I can try to be more entertaining with my accents if you want. All right. More, please. And I'm gonna need like another 1,000 of these things. That's insane. All right. There we go. Okay. LGS says that is, and then please do. I don't know if that was please do entertain us with your strange accents, or if it was please do something else. I don't know. Here we go. There's that. LJ says, yes, try the accents.
Well, I mean, we've already been introduced to my old guy voice, so I suppose we can take a look at that a bit more. The only problem with doing this voice is it's very soft, and so I have to get closer to the microphone for you to be able to hear it. And then someone is going to come into the stream and then going to be like, who is this old guy playing this game? Why is he British? Doesn't make any sense. And then I will just pull out the old man card and say, I'm an old man, I can do what I want. And there is nothing you can do to stop me. And I need more glass, apparently, so we are going to go and see if there's more made. Excellent, there is. Alright. And let's see. We've got all of the glass. It appears to be done for the most part. Let's make sure that I don't lose anything, or I'm not missing anything. We appear to be good. Alright. Well, we don't need this anymore, but now we have a part, and I can't really do anything with it, so I shall grab it. I cannot grab it. Why can I not grab it? I'm using the mod that lets me manipulate things, but apparently I cannot manipulate that, which doesn't make a lot of sense. So we'll do that, and we'll fly back up here, and then just grab it. The other thing that I have to do is make sure that all of this is, frosty. Let's do that. Let's see. Do I have a paint gun? I believe I do. I do. Excellent. I have to make one, though. Yeah. Well, let's go and make a paint gun. Let's see. I believe it is in here somewhere. Paint gun? No. There it is. All right. Paint gun. I don't remember. Does it need paint? Maybe it does. And why does paint use gravel? What kind of paint uses gravel? That doesn't make any sense to me. Wait a second. Oh, my energy is critical. I must recharge. LJS says it needs paint. As one would expect, I suppose. Now, I have a question. If my hydrogen tanks are low, does this also refill them? I don't think so. Yeah. Anyways, let's go and see if we can make some paint. Alright, so I have the paint gun. Now I just need to make some paint. We'll try 100 paint. Now, the question here is it going to pull the gravel from the sifter to put it into the assembler in order to make the paint? And that is the question, and it appears to be not the case. So, we must take from the gravel sifter and place this into the assembler. Where is the assembler? The assembler is not here. Assembler, where are you? There you are. Wonderful. There we go. Oh, that used 1 gravel to make 100 paint. That works out quite nicely, I guess. Balin says, I wish there was wireless charging in Space Engineers. I'm sure there's a mod for that somewhere. LGS says it will refill your character tanks automatically. That is good to know. Less for me to do. LGS says Meridius did that. It is in the trade mod and can charge your suit from the sun. Ah, yes, I do remember reading something about that. I believe it was in between me reading the paper one day. Right, so now we have to frost everything, so let's go up here and see if we can figure out how to use the paint gun. Alright, so we have the paint gun, and then I can... Alright, so that goes there, okay. If I hold down shift, that changes that, lovely. We want the... frosty one. There we go. Right. And then, is it... Right. There we go. Left click. Lovely. The air vent, I think we should probably not color because it's on the inside. Granted, all of these are on the inside. Nope. That one did not work. Lovely. Alright. That can go there, and then can we get up to the... I mean, do wind... turbines work when they're frosty? Would seem so. Good to go. Let's see. We'll put this here. For some reason, when I click, it doesn't always paint. Maybe that's something to look into. And, if I remember correctly, this paint gun can actually mix things. So you can do 50% frozen and 50% concrete, or some other combination thereof. It should work. Except when it doesn't work. Like that. There we go. Maybe I just have to hold down the button longer. There we go. And then we'll put this over there. There we go. That appears to be not connected, but that's fine. It's a different block that I suppose makes sense. I wonder if anyone is wondering who the old guy is playing the game. Probably not. Then we'll put this over there. There we go. Everything is now frosted. We should probably also frost the windows because they are exposed to the cold as well. Oh, that one did not get painted. There we go. Oh, I just noticed something. If I don't click all the way, does it not paint it all the way? Let's see. LJS apparently is having some problems typing. I completely understand that. Says Keen Ned keep OE sec. So I can type. Keen needs to make the paint gun vanilla. I agree. That is a jolly good idea. So, LJS, make it so. If you are able to do so, of course. There we go. We'll leave that as everything nice and frosty. I need to put something on top of this, and you need to be also frosty. What should I put there? I'm going to need something flat. Balin says it's vanilla in Space Engineers 2. LJS says, alas, I cannot. Unfortunately, it seems that LJS does not have the ear of the king people, so I suppose that is understandable. Alright, so I need to think of some sort of thing to put on top of this thing that is flat, but preferably not boring. Although I may not have a choice. What is this? A refill station. What is that? A small hatch which allows for suit power, oxygen, and hydrogen refills. Isn't that something like a med station? LJS says, I know. They know it's a good idea, but they did not implement it in Space Engineers 1? Question mark? And maybe it's because they already knew that they were going to be coming out with Space Engineers 2, and that maybe a lot of players who were playing Space Engineers 1 would inevitably go over to Space Engineers 2, in which case the paint gun is there and vanilla, so maybe perhaps the reason they did not put into Space Engineers 1 is for that reason. Alright, now I need something. What do I need? Right, something to cover that up. Let's see. I would like... Actually, how big is this? I wonder. Let us investigate. Ooh, this is actually rather small. I like this. Now, which way is up and which way is down? That is, of course, the question always. I'm assuming the left side is down and the right side is up. But as this covers everything, I believe this would be nice, and in case I'm flying around, I can go ahead and click on this and refill all of my tanks and power, and it'll be good to go. Oh, I need superconductors for this. That is very interesting. let's see. LJS says, stupid keyboard. I got to go. Might be back. Good luck with the stream. Keep up the accent. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Alright, so I need to make more things. Hopefully I have enough gold in order to make the superconductors. We shall see. There we go. Apparently I do. Alright. So, if I go up here and I place this down... Let me see, how does this work? It just fills up. Lovely. Alright, I think I can work with that. And how is this going to feel being exposed to the elements? I'm assuming it'll be alright. So let me get back my paint gun. Paint gun, where did I put it? Paint gun? Ah, paint gun. No, no. Paint gun. Here. There we go. Okay, so now to just rather frosty, and that isn't frosty, but I think we can get away with not having that being frosty right now. I believe this will work. Anyways, we have more to do. Let's see, the next thing that I should probably do is work on something over there on that wall. What would be good to fit over there? Let's see, if I go over here, assuming that there's going to be something here, what can I put here that could use a conveyor access? What if... No, automaton, programmable block. We could, potentially, put these in here as just regular old decorative blocks, in which case they would act as the servers for the habitat, which, you know, of course we need. Let me see. I will make 2 of these, I think. And I'll put that there, and we'll just go ahead and get it made. Alright, do I need power? I believe I'm good on power. Alright, let's put everything else into production, and see how well this is doing. There we go. Everything is made. Now I just have to place them. Alright, so if I'm going to put this in here, do I want that to be there or there? I suppose it doesn't matter, either way I do it. I could put it here, and then just enclose this whole thing. I think that would potentially work. And then I could just put in a block on behind there. That should work. And then I can find something to put on the wall in between these, and that will close off this area. It's really good. Next, let's see, I need steel plate in order to do that. Alright, well, let's grab some steel plate. Alright, more steel plate. Give me more steel plate. Wonderful, alright. Let's see, I'm gonna have to get it over here somewhere and place it. There we go. Wonderful. Alright. And if I put that there, that will work. And yes, so this is what I expected to be there. Good. This is just the passageway with a bit of storage, just for decorative purposes, of course. And, let's see, what else can we do? I need something to fit in this space right here that looks something like a server rack. Let me think here. I could put in a console module with the buttons and then just put a glass there. I mean, that could potentially work. Let's see, what else can I do? I could put these there, just lockers, a bit of extra storage. Or I could put in some sort of a storage shelf, although that doesn't really make a lot of sense to have that next to the servers, so probably not that. Not sure. Maybe I'll just go back to these. We'll just get one of these, place that down and see how and where that fits in there. I think that will work out quite nicely. And if we put some glass behind it, we'll have a little bit of a view outside, which will be nice. And we can still get in here to access the server racks. That should work. Alright. I believe we're making good progress. I need more space in my inventory, apparently. Alright. What do I have that I don't need right now? I have a lot of plate, probably don't need that. And then I'll just grab everything else out of here, and that should be good to go. Alright, that should be enough time, thank you. And then we can go ahead and put this all together. And then the other thing we will have to do, apparently, is put in all of the windows back there on that side, and that's going to take some doing. So, let's go ahead and grab our windows and just start placing them. And I need girders. Alright. Go and grab some of those. Oh, I am still flying. Silly me, sometimes I forget. I have 6 girders. Why do I have so many of these? That doesn't make sense. I'm out of space in there. Alright, well, let's move it over to here. There we go. More, there we go. Alright. Jolly good show. Now that we are here, we can maybe, potentially, start putting down all of these windows. Of course, placing them in places where there are not blocks is complicated, so easy trick is just to look down at the window that you had just placed, and then it will place another window on top of that one. And if you're at the proper height, then it will just continue to place all of these things, and then you don't have to worry about it. Of course, the problem is, what if you don't have any blocks on the bottom side? In which case, that is not the case here, but in case you did, start from the middle, go across, and then go down, and look up. And then you can get it across here, no problem. Alright, so I have to keep in mind that I don't have a lot of hydrogen. So let's just go quickly and see what we can do. I'm going to need a lot of glass as well. Alright, well, let's just continue what we're doing. Hopefully I don't run out of girders. I probably will, but that's neither here nor there. Balin says you're going to play Stationeers again after the terrain update. To be honest, I wasn't aware there was going to be a terrain update. I will maybe try it, but I feel like I will have to relearn how to play the game because it has been so long, and I'm sure that many things have changed in that time. So I think we'll put it down as a maybe. As with all things in life, maybe you'll do it, maybe you won't. Alright, that's done, that is done, that is done, that is done. Then we are here. Alright. Now, as soon as this is put in here, I think we should probably put in the first of our scripts. Put in the door controller so that we can control the doors into and out of this place, so we can maintain some sort of atmosphere inside. Let's see. We are going to need a lot of glass again. A lot of glass. Let's see. And we will, let's see, I could probably start with filling up the areas that need actual something closed here, otherwise it will just leak into the atmosphere outside, which is not good for any kind of sustained atmosphere inside the building, of course. And it's accusing me of being low energy again. I am an old man. I am not low energy. I am just being efficient in my energy use. Balin says the moon map is done. They are working on the rest. The main differences are the maps are not random. Y starts at bedrock, and DMs matter where you place them. Interesting. I am out of glass. Looks like I need to make some more. Then on top of that, I need some more power. I have power up there. I could have just gone and flown up there and recharged myself, but it's fine for now, I suppose. Besides, I believe that also refills my tank according to LGS. Balin says, depending on what region you place a DM, depends on what resources you get. You're gonna have to remind me, what is a DM? Is it a dungeon master? Is it some sort of other thing that starts with a DM? Death mode, perhaps? Depth miner? No, I think that would make sense because there are miners in that game. Is it a depth miner? Is it some other? It's been a while. My memory is not as good as it used to be. See, I'm going to need to make more of the glass. There we go. Deep miner. There you go. So, it used to be the deep miner would give you a random assortment of materials, I believe. So they're making it so that way the location in which the deep miner pulls the rocks and stones and minerals and whatnot is going to make it more difficult to get you the materials that you actually need, which is interesting. LJS is back apparently, says, who is the old man playing a nerd game? I'll have you know, young whippersnapper, that this is not a nerd game, this is an engineering game. There's a difference. But, welcome back. And apparently there is a storm going on right now, so, hopefully I don't get blown away. I don't think that'll be the case, but you never know. Wispy old man that I am. Let's see, we're going to need some more windows. Alright, there we go. And let's see, I'm going to have to go somewhere over here. Right, this is going to need a window. Perfect. That is going to need a window. That's going to need a window. And that is going to need a window. I believe that is all the windows that I have that have access to the outside, except for this thing, of course, which is going to have to be fixed with either a door or something like that. Let's see. Something I could do, potentially, is build out a floor over here. Somehow. let's say I could go up one more block and then just build out around it and have a little bit of space up here. Balin says, like in the region my base is in, it's a gold one. So I get gold 100% from dirty ore, so you need to build outposts to get all of the resources. And that sounds complicated. But then again, it is Station is, and that is a very complicated game, so I suppose it is par for the course. Balin says some regions give iron, copper, silicon, silver, nickel, lead, nickel, etc. There's only one region that gives cobalt. Interesting. That sounds complicated. Then again, I believe I'm repeating myself by saying that, because of course Station is complicated. Alright, now the next thing that I could potentially do here is... what do I need? I believe that there was a passage that allows you to ascend levels. Was it a passage or was it a corridor? It might have been a corridor. Let's go ahead and check that. Corridor. There we go. Was there one that allows you to go up in levels? Does not appear to be so. Interesting. Well, that's just neither here nor there. I was thinking maybe I could have that go up a level, and then I won't have to worry about where I put the floor here, but it appears that is not going to be the case. Yeah, let's see. Let's see, we've got all of that. Oh, right. I needed to make some script manager things. So I'm going to need a programmable block. There we go. I'm going to need at least one of these. So I'll go ahead and grab that and put it there. I need lots of tubes and one motor. And that is everything that I should need. Lovely. Alright, where do I want to put this? I was thinking I could put it up here somewhere. Maybe like over here. That's a good place for it. I need you to go down here and then face me, please. Thank you. Alright, so we'll go ahead and put that in here. And now we need to fill out this whole thing. Right, so we're going to browse the scripts and see what I have. We are going to need the easy simple doors. There we go. Copy to the editor. Then check the code. Completion is successful. Lovely. It is managing doors. It is certainly doing something. Probably going to have to control this. Let's see. Well, if that had worked, we would be filling in here. So either we have a leak or the doors are not working as expected. Let's see, Balin says the outpost building, you need the rover for that. It's a mobile lander to carry stuff, and it's 7 meters per second top speed, and not too bad. Each region is about 500 to 600 meters apart from each other. LGS says TE for leak finder. Well, I think the issue here is that the doors are not being properly controlled, and that is why... no, maybe they are being properly controlled. It is very confusing. Let me see. No, it looks like I probably have a leak somewhere. Alright, well, I guess the leak finder is the way to go. The door is closed, so it should be filling in something somewhere. Let us see, I need to go over here and then tell you to do the leak finder thing. There we go, find. Leak path rendered. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. it would appear that this does not properly seal against that. That is unfortunate. It is built up all the way, and it doesn't look like we're missing anything, so it is likely going straight out through there somehow. I don't like this. This should be able to completely seal against this, but apparently not. LGS says yes, that is a bug. Great. Now I have to deal with bugs. Well, I suppose I'm not a space engineer for nothing. I can deal with the bugs, I suppose. Of course, that's not going to make this look any good, any better, I should say. So let me see here. Air leak scan and found the leak. All right, I need you to seal. It would be useful if I knew the actual shape of this block, not just what the rendered shape looks like, because then I could figure out what block to put in here in order to make it show what I needed to show. So, what I could try to do, I suppose, is go over here and grab a little panel. See if that does anything. I don't like doing this because it's going to make it look not great. Unless, what if I were to place this after we have the scan? Is that going to fix it or not? Ship scanned, leak found, rendering. No, it did not fix it. Okay. Well, apparently there's no way to fix this bug, so how do we want to work this? Let's see. Balin says, my fave map, Europa, looks really nice. Looks like a snow-capped mountainous terrain. Let's see. LJS says, push Control B to go into block air tightness mode, I think. Been a while since I used build info. Block air tightness mode. Control and B. I think that is the blueprint mode, is it not? Yes, that is a blueprint. Well, I do not need this. We shall delete this. Let's see. What do we want to put in here then? Let me place this in here and just see if it works. There we go. Rescanning the room. Leak path rendered. Probably going somewhere else. Yes, now it is going down through here. Unfortunately, that looks not amazing. What is the proper way to do this, I wonder? Actually, I have a better idea. It's just gonna make this look a little bit stranger, but it should work. Instead of doing it that way, we're just going to take a solid block and put it in here and do the little corner piece, and we'll say that that is it right there, but of course we're going to want it to be the frozen armor. Although that's going to look weird on the inside, is it not? But we want it to look frozen on the outside, so we will just go ahead and go with that for now. Oh, wait a minute, that's not the correct one. That's still going to escape out that way. Let's see, what do I need? I need... is it the other one? I don't think so. No, because it's like the three-way. That's not exactly what I need. Another way to do this is to remove the sides entirely. Wait, is that going to work? I don't think that's going to work. So if I do this, then I could potentially put the plate on the other side of this, in which case we could block the flow. And maybe we could make that work on the inside, and so it doesn't look completely terrible. LJ says, what button was it? There was one that showed what faces of blocks were airtight. Come on, people, help me out here. Well, when you say people, according to what I'm seeing here, there are only 3 people watching right now. LJ says use that. Well, let me just take a look at this from the outside and see what we can find. That is not what I need. That is also not what I need. No, this is not going to work. So, if I do this, I could put that in there like that, and then it would just be a little strange on the side. It's not ideal. I think I'll do this and then go with the plate on the inside. Then we'll see what we can make this look like. Alright, and then we'll take this thing and turn off the frozen mode, and I'll throw this one there, something like that. And we'll put that in there, and maybe that will work. Ehrlich found. Okay, now it is not liking this one, which is fine. Let's see, we're going to need another one of these in here, placed in this direction, orientation of course. And we'll do that, and this should seal. Apparently not. So this orientation also does not seal, so we will have to find out some other way to do this. I guess I'll just have to stick with this for now. Oh wait, another thing that I forgot to do is to change this to frozen mode. Can't have it not looking like everything else, right? Sir, let me grind you, please. Thank you. I'll just go into here and do it like that, the original way that you change the rock's color. And now we can go back over to here and place this on here, and hopefully the whole thing works. Yes, it's a little strange, but I believe it'll work for now. So, over here. Now my inventory is full, probably because I have too much glass. So, let's just put that in there, put that in there, we'll call it good. Let's see, I'm going to need another one of these in here, I suppose. That can go there. I'll just go ahead and place this right there. Lovely. Alright. It appears that we are making some amount of progress here. Of course, this is also going to have to come out here because it doesn't like that. So, we'll just go here and place this over here like that, and I believe that is the right orientation for this block. Let's see, and from here we need to place another one of those here. Can I get it from here? I cannot. There we go. Excellent. Alright, so now you're going to say that you don't like these ones up here, I'm guessing. Yes. Balin says, I haven't played Space Engineers in a long time. Most of the mods he has, I've never used either. It's not like I'm using a vast amount of mods, just, useful ones. So, Build Info is one of the mods that I use. It tends to make building a little bit easier, as you would expect from the name. Let's see. First we need to get that out of here. Good. And then we'll replace that with one of these, but of course it has to be frozen, so we'll go ahead and put that over there. No, it still isn't going to like that, I don't think. No, I didn't think it would. But, and this one at least, maybe I can do something a little bit fancy. And say that I want, maybe not that one, but this one. Would that work? Maybe. I don't know, this will seal. Ehrlich scan, ship changed, path rendered, good. Alright, so that it does work there. And I do like the look that it gives, so I wonder if I should take those out and replace those with one of those. I think that is probably the way to go. Balin says if this was a station is, I'd be a wealth of knowledge. Too much for some people. And I appreciate your knowledge. And as space engineers is not anywhere near as complicated as station is, I believe that you will do just fine if you were to play this for a little bit. I think that you would quickly catch up to everything that we are doing here. And it will work out. Let's see, I need to get more things. Alright, so that is now there. Good. I like this because of the angles that it makes. The angles here, they are acceptable for me. The only thing is, I'm not quite sure how I feel about there being frost blocks on the inside where it is supposed to be nice and warm, but I suppose I don't have any room to complain about that at the moment. So we'll do that, and then that closes that up, which is good, and we can still walk up here if we need to look out. I could put a chair or something up here, maybe. Something. Oh no, I probably couldn't because this glass is using up this block space. So it's probably not going to be something that I can do. Anyways, let's see, how long have I been streaming? 1 hour and 11 minutes and 12 seconds. Well, before too long I am going to have to go and get myself some food, but we'll play for a little bit longer, I think. Alright, so first thing that I have to do is make sure that that is painted properly. And we'll place this over here, and then we'll call that pretty good. And then we have to take this piece off, and then paint that one, and change this block to that one, and put that in there, and that should work. There we go. And then the sides should be fine because they are flat, but we still have to worry about up here. And since this is accusing me of being low energy despite being an old man, I shall recharge myself. There we go. Now, the next thing that I have to do is to fix these. Maybe I will have to fix the other corner as well, I'm not sure. Maybe these ones will... No, this one is going to have to change for sure. Alright, well, let's just go ahead and get this going. There we go, we've got that piece there, and we're going to need... actually, no. Hold on, I thought I had an idea, and then I didn't have an idea, so... one of the problems with being an old man is your memory tends to come and go as it sees fit to. There we go, so that can go there, and that should be that leak fixed. And the next leak should be over there, which it appears it is. Yes, it is going this way, and then out to the door, which, of course, we are expecting that one to be there. But this one also is going to be a problem here, so let's go ahead and take that out, and take this out. And then, depending on how I want to do this, I think we will still go for this one here, even though we're going to cover up the batteries eventually, so this will just be an interesting little piece on the top here. And then we need this to go to here, and then that can go there, and then that should be good. And let's see, so that should be fine there, and now all we need to do is put a door over onto here. Let's see, this is going to be in here already, and that's going to be the top of the door, and I could put another door like that, I suppose. And that would just be a temporary door, because eventually this is going to be sealed in here, and then this will just share the atmosphere. But for now, I suppose, let's just block it off like this for now. And then we will go ahead and... There we go, so that was the last leak. This is good information, of course. That will close after me, good. Now, is it considering this one to be an airlock? That is the question. It is, but did it have a chance to completely... Oh, that could be a problem there. Maybe not, I don't know. Well, Anyways, that is closing there, but the only problem is it's going to cycle the airlock, which will take whatever air was in there and cycle it somewhere else. However, let's see, LJS has a question here. I have never played Stationeers. Is it a combat engineering game, or is it more coding and programming? I would say it is more... not as a proper way to say it. Physics and chemistry and programming. If you want to do anything interesting, you, of course, are going to have to learn how to do the programming for it. But programming is not completely difficult, of course. Balin says it's more about atmospherics and coding. But it's also chemistry as well, I believe, because you have to mix things with proper mixtures, of course. If you don't, it'll cause problems for you, of course. And of course physics, because a lot of that is based on physics. Right, so I need to take this and make some additional changes here. So we're going to take this and give proper credit where it is due. Automatic doors, I believe is the script name. I'm going to put that there, and let's see, we're going to change this to, that will go down to 0, that will go down to 0, this will go down to 200, and we'll change the alignment to the center here. Appears to be working well, and then all we have to do here is go into here and change the font size, that way it fits within the little window here, and then that should be good. Now, the other thing that I have to do is go into the coding here, so let me go into here. Let's see, the script will automatically close the door 1 second after it is open, change this value here if needed. Double also close second equals 1, I think that's probably fine. There we go, simple airlock, this is what I need. By default, the script will try to find airlocks, 2 doors close to each other, and manage them. It will close the just open door first, and then open the other one and close it, all depending on auto-close seconds, which is what I'm looking for here. If you don't want this functionality, set this main trigger to false. Well, I do want the functionality, and so we shall change this to... we will not change it, we will just keep it as true. Let's see. Script will detect airlocks within a 2-block radius of a just open door, like back-to-back sliding doors. Change this value if your airlocks are wider, int airlock radius equals 2, I think that's probably fine. Let's see, so, script will detect airlocks within a 2-block radius. I think I just read that already. To protect the airlock from being opened too early, the script deactivates the second door until the first one is closed. It changes behavior. Set the following value to false. So we do not want to change this because we want to make sure that one door is only open at any given time and not both. Let's see, we can add an additional delay in seconds between closing the first airlock door and opening the second one. This is what I want to change. And this is going to be seconds, so we'll change this to... No, we'll change it to 2 seconds, I think. Let's see, if 2 nearby doors are accidentally treated as an airlock but are in fact just regular doors, you can add this keyword to one or both doors' names to disable airlock functionality. Autoclose still works. Block name changes are only noticed every 17 seconds, so it takes some time until your door is really excluded. String no airlock keyword. So if you were to put that at the end of the name of the door, then it will not treat it as an airlock. So we shall check the code again, make sure that it's all good, compilation is successful, and then that should hopefully work. Let's see. Balin says it has a steep, or in capitals, of course, a learning curve. LJS says, thanks, I suck at coding, so I'll probably avoid that. Balin says the coding really isn't hard. It's not like scripting ugly or Java, it's like assembly. Like get temp from gas sensor if greater than 293K, which is 20 degrees Celsius, turn the AC on. I have no coding knowledge ever, and I'm able to do the basics. If you would like to learn, at least, the basics about how to play the game Stationeers, I do have an entire series on it, if you would like to peruse those videos whenever you have time. I believe I have several hundred videos, And I do go into a lot of the different ways to use things, and some of the more complicated things you don't necessarily need to know coding for. They do have simple integrated circuits that you could use, and you just have to connect them up to the proper things in the correct way, and it all should work. So, I do have a video where I did an entire rocket assembly and launch and retrieval using the integrated circuits and no programming whatsoever. So, if you do not want to use the programming, you don't necessarily have to. You just have to be a little bit creative in how you use the integrated circuits. Balin says, the only things you need to mix to make is fuel gas and rocket fuel. Then you can code a gas mixer via the formula for that. Yes, and that's why I said that chemistry comes into play, because you have to be careful about the formulas that you use, otherwise things can and do blow up or catch on fire. And of course, if something explodes and destroys your base, then there's a much bigger problem there. Alright, so now that we have Izzy's door and working in here, and let's see, we have high O2. I mean, granted, we have high O2 outside as well, but in the inside here it is also warm. So I believe that we'll call it a success for now. Alright, so that is blocked off. We will work on the other building over there and eventually uncover that, and then we should have an interesting setup here. Alright, so we have been streaming for 1 hour and 21 minutes and 32 seconds, so I think I will go for maybe another 10 minutes, and then I will go and make myself some food, because I have not eaten anything since 10:30 this morning, so I'm rather a bit peckish right now. Let's see, so the thing that I would like to work on, so 1,000, 1,000, good, so the timer block does seem to work on there, and that is just there to give the decompression a chance to work and pull the oxygen out of the air there. Let's see, LJS says, okay, I will look at some tutorials, thanks for the info. MSCH says, big station, who built such a thing? This is not very large if you've seen any of my other videos, but thank you for joining and watching. This is mostly just a habitat for me to operate out of. And then, of course, this one over here is the industrial area. And then I've got my little skimmer over there for when I need to go and mine and pick up things. I have a mine down there for stone, and let's see, what else do I need? I should probably start working on the second floor over here. Let's see, how do I want to do that? Do I want to make it look fancy, or do I just want to put it in here? Let's see. Balin says, to make an airlock in stationaires, it's a process. Cables, airlock chip, vents, active and passive, pipes, doors, and walls. Zero has few series on the game. Yes, I do. In my repertoire videos, I believe I have over 1,500 videos. Many of them are dedicated to stationaires. That it was a very complicated game and took me time to learn it, and so the videos there are also for others, so that way they can learn how to play the game as well. Let's see, so we're going to go into here. I don't need that, and I don't need that, but I do need more of the steel plates, so what have we got? Alright. So, let's see, how do I want to do this? I'm thinking we'll have that go directly into a stairwell to go upwards, and then I could put the floor or something like that over here. Maybe not frosted. No, definitely not frosted. Let's take the frosted off. I'll go there and put that in there like that. That will work just fine. And then we'll put this over here. We shall complete our floor. At least this part of the floor. Then, let's see, we should put this over here and put some more of these down and see where we go. Now, the issue, of course, is going to be this thing right here, because I do not believe that we can seal around it, so that is going to make things interesting. But maybe we can just seal it off using glass or something like that, and we can probably figure out something to do there. There we go. We'll just go ahead and place that over here. Something like that. There we go. Alright. Let's see. We're going to need to place more of these blocks over here. And that can go there. I think that will probably work. We're going to need one more block here. That can be just a stairwell right there. Let's see. LJS says, I watched Blitzy do a Vulcan playthrough, whatever that is. Vulcan is a very difficult map. In Stationers, I would strongly advise you not start there. Let's see, Baden says, just don't start out on the harder maps. I really mean this. Vulcan and Venus are no jokes. Europa is too hard for new people too. My suggestion, of course, would be to start on the moon. But that is neither here nor there. Let's see, LJS says, noted, I like pain and might have tried that. Generally, people aren't supposed to like pain. You should probably consult a psychologist or something of that nature for that particular predilection that you have. And of course, you know I'm kidding. But if you do watch my very first video, I believe I started on the moon as well, and it was extremely painful for me because I had no idea how any of the systems worked. So it was definitely a learning curve. But from there, I got better at it, and I won't say that I'm exactly an expert at the game, but I would say that I'm quite good. Let's see, I'm out of armor block, and that's probably not a good thing. I'm going to need a lot more. How much iron do I have? I have 29,100 iron left. I believe that is enough to do. That should take up about half of it. Yeah, it's under half of it, and that should be fine. But I'm going to need more of the steel plate. Then LJS says ROTFL. I don't know if that was directed towards my joke about the predictions here, but or perhaps maybe something else. Let's see, I need more plate, please. If you could hurry up a little bit, please. Oh, there we go. I think that is as much as I can carry. Good. Alright, now we have to go up to here. Place all of this in here. Good. And we'll go ahead and place this there. LJS says, I don't apostrophe. Ah, there we go. So it was about my joke about the productions, yeah. LJS says, I do not need a psychiatrist, I just play with reavers. I would strongly suggest that you not tell normal people that, because they will probably look at you and think that you're quite strange. LJS says, I just got a new phone and I'm adjusting to the new keyboard. Sorry for the typos. So, LJS is watching this on a phone. In my day, we had to ring the phone, literally. We had a little crank that we would go on there and spin it a few times just to make a phone call. Now he's watching an entire streaming video on a phone. It's very strange technology. No, of course, it is accusing me of having low energy again. I have told you before that I am an old man. I am not low energy, I am just merely being efficient with it. Although I suppose I probably should go ahead and recharge myself. Luckily, I left this thing over here, and I should be able to just recharge myself from it. There we go. Alright, good. And now we continue with the welding. Let's see, did I finish all of this? I did. Alright, good. So, go ahead and place in the rest of this over here. I believe that is going to make me be out of steel plate at the moment. Yes, I have 4 left. Alright, so I'm going to need more. Alright, so let us go and grab more. Let's see, we're going to need more. Luckily I have all of the steel plate made. Should hopefully be enough to complete this part of the floor. One thing I do have to say is that if you're playing this game without the nanobot repair mod, building is much, much, much slower. Although, if I'm going to be honest, I think there is a certain, what is the word? A certain pleasure that you get from welding everything up by hand. I think it gives you more appreciation for what you've built. Not to say that it's great for building large structures. I would strongly advise against that, especially if you're welding by hand, but I suppose that once you build yourself a welding vehicle or something of that sort, it probably would not be so bad. And I suppose you could probably use the event things to auto-refill certain cargo containers with parts and pieces, of course. Okay. Again, I'm fairly certain that this is not actually a sealing surface right here, and there's a very large hole right there, so I'm pretty sure that oxygen will escape through there, and probably over here as well. So if I'm going to do this, then I have to enclose these 4 blocks right here with something. I could maybe do a floor and put some kind of block in there, I'm not sure yet. LJS comes back at me with a stinger, saying, sounds like you need a psychiatrist if you like hand welding. I'm trying to think of a retort against that, but at the moment I am unable. So I shall instead do what I usually do when I don't understand something or don't have a good thing to say or a witty comeback, and just ignore the fact that it was said in the first place. And of course that makes me seem like an inattentive streamer, so maybe I probably shouldn't do that, but for the moment I think it's probably fine, especially since my stomach is yelling at me. It's saying, you need to give me food. You need me. Alright, so now that that is done, I think I'm going to end this part for now. Actually, hold on a second, let me see if... Do I actually need these blocks here? My question is probably not. So, well, actually, hold on, let me see. It would be fine if I were to remove those, because they do have these blocks down here. The yield modules on here are not something that you can actually place a block on top of. So if this was not connected anywhere and I disconnected all of these blocks behind the glass, this would fall off, which obviously is not ideal. But I believe they will be fine. Balin says, G2G, got to go. Have a good one. Thank you very much for showing up. Hopefully that you have appreciated the accent that I'm using for this video, and it has made you feel as old as this voice actually is. Which is not, because it is rather new for me, so it is a rather young voice in the grand nature of things. But I'm over here rambling, because that is one of the parts of this accent that I'm using, is you must ramble, because that just sets things up like that way. Alright. Now, what do I want to do in this room? So, I'm thinking I could probably, maybe, set up some sorters and things of that nature. I wonder if I should set up something in small grid, so that way I can make it smaller, of course. And then maybe use this for storing things like elements and stuff like that. So I could take all of my iron and throw it to a thing that I can't think of at the moment because my mind is going. But you could put it through that, and then you would have just the iron go into a box. And then, let's see, I would have to learn how to use the event viewers or programmers, because I think I would have to turn on and off some of the sorters, otherwise it'll create a looping within the system itself, and that's just going to waste processing power, which is not something that I want to do. So, I think I will leave that for the next stream, if I decide to come back and stream, of course. I may just end up playing on my own. It depends on if people are available and willing to watch, but we shall see. But for now, I think my stomach has been yelling at me enough, so I'm going to end this stream here. Thank you all for showing, and hopefully you have enjoyed the little voice that I'm using here. And if you have enjoyed it, then let me know, and I will be sure to bring it back for another stream sometime. Maybe I'll even record videos using it. But that is all I have for now, so for now, and until then, of course, have a good one.